Tonight's invocation is brought to you by Councilmember Shirley.
Oh, Mayor, I guess I better start moving to the top of the agenda instead of just all the business. It was not, I overlooked that. All right, dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for today and this opportunity to come together and do the business of the city. Lord, we ask you to guide us in making decisions that will benefit all those that are affected. And Lord, we just ask you to be with each and every one of us as we have discernment in making these decisions. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Nice job. Now rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Frank Bankert.
Present.
Councilmember Kimberly Shaw Elliott.
Here.
Councilmember Todd Harper.
Present.
Councilmember Jody Shirley.
Here.
Councilmember Anders Wellings.
Here.
Vice Mayor Lloyd Roberts.
Here.
Mayor Dave Gaddis.
Here.
City Manager Kyle Riefler.
Here.
City Attorney Tom Trask.
Here. All right, thank you, Kathy. Our first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion? Motion. Motion is made by Frank Banker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second is made by
Jody.
Councilmember Shirley. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, the agenda is approved. Now we move right into a presentation from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, beginning with law enforcement monthly reports.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sergeant Pierce from the Sheriff's Office. I'm the new beat sergeant for the evening shift. I have some stats here for the month of January. This year, there was one offense of an assault in January 2026. That's down from 4 last year on the year-to-date. There was a total of 9 people arrested during the month of January. There was 1 felony, 1 warrant, and the rest were traffic misdemeanors, for a total of 12. There were a total of 501 events during the month, with 566 Sheriff's Office units responding. The majority of those were traffic stops, 141, 130 direct patrols, and the rest of the calls were various different calls. There were no crashes during the month of January. There were several direct enforcements and normal traffic duties conducted by deputies. These total for 177 citations during the month, with the looks like 73% were warnings, 14% were for traffic, and 12% were for parking. The top citation location was the Causeway, with the remaining citations given out mostly along Gulf Boulevard. That is all the stats that I have. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Council? Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick question on the felony for the battery, 65 or older. Do you have any more detail on that?
I don't have any specific details on that, but if you'd like, I can get some for the next meeting and bring it back to you.
That's okay. I was curious. Was it the person who received 65 or older, or the person who made the battery?
The victim is 65 or older.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know the area?
I do, sir.
Was it a resident or was it?
Oh, for this specific one, no. Sorry, I apologize. No.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you for being here this evening. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next up is the monthly code enforcement report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. How is everyone tonight? I am Deputy Trump, and I'm your code enforcement officer. We had a busy month last month. Same thing. It varies everywhere from long grass to dead trees that we're still chasing. We had some. We have a couple that were still hanging out there. Some structures that are in disrepair, but we're working diligently with the owners to try and get things of that nature cleaned up. We had 3 pods that were in the city that I finally were able to get removed. The last, I'll be good to, I'm sorry, let me get my thought here. Glad to report the last of the RVs that are storm related are gone. That one's gone. We had a couple of cases of bird feeding, which kind of goes under environmental nuisance. We've closed both of those. And we still have several rental registrations out there, but we are slowly working through those. I'm making contact with a lot of the owners out there, and we're slowly getting those down. We had a short-term rental that we were able to make contact with the owner, and we were able to solve that one, and that one is also closed. Otherwise, just some miscellaneous other enforcements, which include light trespassing, a couple of unlicensed contractors that I also work with the county on in order to do those, and a bunch of temporary signages. You have the city printout provided by the city manager. That is our iWork system, so there's a lot of reading in there for your Sunday pleasure. And if there are any questions, please feel free to ask.
Any questions for Deputy Trump?
One quick one.
Yes.
You mentioned that the short-term rental was resolved.
Yes, ma'am.
What was that resolution? What was the resolution?
Myself and the city manager got with the homeowner once we discovered it and we found out. So basically, she was served with a letter to comply with the city ordinance, and she did kick out the other person, or the short-term rental part of that.
Very good, thank you.
Where was that located?
3005 Gulf Boulevard.
Yes.
I just want to thank you because I heard you were the main guy that got the gates that you can open them now to 3 feet. You put the chain on the back of the gates, and when you slide it down, you have a nice passageway. And I heard that was all you're doing. So
Well, not just all my doing. Myself and Deputy Burgess actually, he initially came up with the idea. I just kind of finished it for him. And,
I'll thank him too.
So hopefully it works better. Again, the same thing. It's not a perfect resolution yet, but hopefully one of these days soon we can come up with a resolution that'll work for everybody.
I just want to give you that.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. I'm hearing from residents on a couple of properties, and one of them, I believe it's 2040 Gulf Boulevard, a residential property. My understanding is it's in foreclosure, but I did notice there's always been a roof issue and some deferred maintenance. But today there's, I don't know if it's a gutter or if it's a piece of the fascia board was just hanging on the side. I believe that's the correct property. Maybe, I'm sorry, maybe it's 2301. 2040 was the other one.
Okay, it's 2301 Gulf Boulevard. Bear with me 1 second, and I'll bring that one up.
I'm just hoping you might be a little bit of what the situation is, because I don't see it.
Bear with me. So for 2301, and I will have to double check on that one. I had a suspicious person call on that one a while ago, and the roof in disrepair. I will double check to make sure that we don't have anything hanging down or breaches on that one. With that property, there is some legal issues going on with that property at the moment, so it kind of bars us from getting too involved with it right at the moment. So, but anything something more happy to try and address.
Do we have any penalties or anything with regards, because I know that roof has been an eyesore and a problem. Have we imposed any penalties, and have they been recorded as a lien?
I do not believe that we have anything recorded as a lien. I would have to refer that one to the city manager for that one. Again, that home is basically, it's in foreclosure right now. So it kind of limits us as far as what we're able to do with the property. until that begins to get settled. But again, if there's anything grievous, I'm more happy to try and address it.
Yeah, and then the other concerns were the 2040, which I see a lot of notes in here about the Bel Air Beach Hotel,
Yes.
these conversations, but, and I did have some conversation with the city manager regarding it. I guess, is there anything more we can do? I know we had a visit with him, you and Kyle visited with the property owner.
Yes,
And we're trying to,
ma'am. We had a meeting with him. He is just getting open and starting to get his clients in there. It's been a very long process, obviously, so they've been working on that property ever since the hurricanes. They just within this last month have been able to open so that they can actually get paying customers back in there. The owner has been very cooperative with me as far as trying to slowly get things cleaned up, get some of the issues. When we had a meeting with him, we did address some of the other issues, whether it be fencing on the south and the north side. They already have the fencing up on the north side for me. They're working on the south side. Some of the parking lot issues and everything else, he will be moving forward with trying to get that addressed. I can't say tomorrow, but he was really very open to doing that. Some of it's cost-based right at the moment.
yeah.
But
And I'm sure
we are-
functionality, of probably having the parking lot torn up in the busiest season isn't the best time,
Yes, ma'am.
I would think.
Yes, ma'am. So, but he's been very open to us. He's never turned us away when we've gone and had a meeting with him, or if I brought in little things to him. So they've addressed it pretty quickly. And so he's very willing to work with us. So we'll stay on top of it, and I keep going by it. We'll work with whatever we can.
Yeah, and I'll just go on the record in that. I did some research after the phone call I received, and there was a question about permitting and things like that. The permits were all pulled. He did everything according to the way it should be done. He has permits for all the work that's been done there.
Yes.
And it's public record. It's on the Pinellas County permitting website. So just to put that at ease, that was a question that was asked.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure, I couldn't imagine you wouldn't have checked.
And it's being inspected on every part of that also. Matter of fact, their opening actually got held back about a week or a week and a half because there was one little issue with some plumbing, I think, that just didn't quite pass by the county. So they got that fixed straight away, had the county come back out, re-inspect, and they were good to go.
Yeah, the county's records show all the permits are closed out.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's good. Okay.
So the little issues, we'll keep working with them on, and
Yeah.
we'll
Thank
get
you.
them addressed.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, comments? Well, thank you very much for being here tonight. I appreciate everything you do for our city.
Thank you, sir.
All right, next up is a presentation from Pinellas Suncoast Fire and Rescue District. Chief Grimes, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. I gave a small handout just to start to compile some data year over year, month over month. So I think data tells a picture. This in February we had 5 calls for service up in Bel Air Beach. As compared to last year, there were 7, and you can see every month last year was busier than this year. So I'm not sure what's driving that, but I assume it's just because of still recovery from the hurricane. The population hasn't rebounded and that sort of thing. What's interesting I find about your data is you have more fire calls than you do EMS. So system-wide, we have 8% EMS calls, 20% fire calls, and in your case, it's almost reversed. Where you have, this month anyway, you had more fire calls than you did EMS calls. Our district as a whole does about 200 total calls for service in any given month. And you mentioned short-term rentals. We're coming out to where our council, and it may or may not impact Bel Air Beach much, but we have a resolution that changes the way because we have a flat fee for residential, and if you're a short-term rental, it's going to be charged at a different rate, which is commercial use instead of residential use. And again, probably not a big issue across your footprint. construction-wise or capital-wise, we broke ground, we tore down the old station on the mainland. And that station hopefully will be done in a year, so maybe about this in January next year, we'll be moving into that station there on the mainland. We continue to develop the property to the north here. We bought, we have a contract and an offer into a house that's adjacent to the property we own at the Church of the Isles. And so that would work into our short or even long-term solution. I myself have this concept because I just can't believe fire stations are $10 million. And so I have this, it's $1,000 a square foot to build a fire station nowadays. When you have the most expensive house in Bel Air Beach, at $800 a square foot, and a fire station has polished concrete floors, it makes no sense to me at all. So I've taken the position we're not going to do that with taxpayer dollars, and so this concept of having a house, and you guys are sort of probably the brainchild of it. It's where it came from with your, when we were looking at your house, and obviously we're still vetting that out. But the idea that you could actually have the firefighters reside in the house and have a less expensive garage for the fire trucks was the concept. And so where we were buying property to build in the north, we bought this house next door, and the idea is you'll have the firemen in the house. The city's already let us know, Indian Rocks Beach, that they consider it residential use, so we don't have to change the zoning. And what was anticipated to cost the taxpayers $10 million, I think we're going to be able to do with about $3 million. So trying to be responsible with the taxpayer dollar and get it as far as we can get it. So that's the property up north for you all. And the other pertinent thing there, and Mayor Gaddis is on the board of MSAC, we put in this year for a paramedic position for the north to cover you all. So we know we'll be in service somewhere October 1st. Since we own land, we made the case to the county it's a permanent setup. We're not doing this, fly by night. We're here, and then we can leave. So we actually have brick and mortar, and so we put in to the MSAC and to the county for an extra paramedic position to put up here for when we put the fire department unit up here. And so thank you for your support on that, and that'll actually really help response times up here for EMS and fire. Down south, we talked about the Tiki Gardens. We're still working through with the county of whether we can move our south station north to the Tiki Gardens, which makes all this possible. Moving the south station north and the central station, and this station up here is new, and it really covers the beaches really well. So I think that's it, unless somebody has any questions.
Council, any questions or comments for Chief Grimes? Well, I have one. Well, since you've saved about $7 million, is there any opportunity for our rates to go down?
We aren't looking at reducing our millage rate until we're done with our stations. What I will say, and maybe I would love it, maybe you'd approve me to give the quick city presentation that we've given. And I don't know if anybody was at our city summit when we did it it's something I should do here. Because I said, when I was working for the county, and when the idea was for this taxpayers to vote to tax themselves, we over there scoffed at that and thought, there's no way somebody's going to vote to tax themselves, right? We were planning on, what our plan was to take over the fire department. Now that I'm the fire chief, I realize we've run the numbers, and I realize how smart the citizens are of Bel Air Beach and everywhere else. If our district went away, the way we bill, and I have the exact number for you in my presentation, but let's say you're paying, with our new ad valorem and with our flat fee, you're paying $1,000 a household for fire protection. Well, if you were absorbed into the Seminole Dependent District, you'd be paying double that. If we would go away. So I continue to make the case that even though we do have that small ad valorem in there, that the special district is more cost effective than the other models out there. And so I'd love to show that to you. It's a couple slides, maybe next month, if you allow it.
The pitch was not hard. Everyone knew what they were up against. The last thing that they wanted to see was us losing Pinellas Suncoast. And so it made perfect sense. We didn't want to be absorbed into anyone else. And we like our service and we like our fire and rescue personnel. So I appreciate everything you're doing. And it never hurts to ask, though.
Oh, no, I love it. Yeah, no, of course. And I'm actually doing the neighborhood news articles. I've got a series running in there. And this month will be about how we work as a part of the county system, which you know so well. But then the next month, I plan on laying out the finances for it. So, trying to be real transparent.
I would appreciate seeing the presentation we put together. So whether it's at a work session or at the meeting next month.
I would love to do it. It's what I tell whenever I meet with the county commissioner, county people, city. It's what my message. So I'd love to do it. It doesn't take long. Probably 10 minutes at the most.
Perfect. Come back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Now we are on to the city attorney report. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Mayor. Thank you. Each one of you should have received this afternoon a copy of the draft interlocal agreement between the city and the town of Bel Air Shore. I'm providing you with this document for your review. I'm asking that it be scheduled to be placed in the next work session for discussion purposes. And I would just remind you as some background, this agreement was originally drafted by Randy Moore, your city attorney, my partner, a number of years ago. There have been some changes to it through discussion with the town of Bel Air Shore and the mayor and I. Those changes have been incorporated in this draft. So we would like for you to review this draft and be available for discussion about it at the next work session if that's a possibility. That's what I'm asking.
I'd like to add to that also is that this is the red line version. There's no red lines, but this is the last version that was modified by Bel Air Shore. Now it's back to us. So these are not wholly our edits. These are, we keep digging in and then they come back and I will admit that they have softened up quite a bit since we started this process. So we are making some progress. There's still some things that I see in here that could be better, but let's discuss it at our next work session and see if we can work through it. All right.
One question. Could we please have a red line version which also shows whose edit it is?
So I'm not sure. The answer is yes. I can provide that to you. I don't know how it would be helpful though, because what happens is that the original draft was done by Randy a couple of years ago. They suggested changes. We suggested changes. So it wasn't an approved starting point by you. So I'm not really sure it would be that helpful.
Oh, Randy's version was never executed.
Correct. No.
So are these changes to the document that was executed, or is this an entirely new
So
document?
there is an interlocal agreement that was done in 2003. This is to basically modify it and set in terms that are acceptable to both the town and the city. Some changes and make it absolutely clear what our position is and what their position is on certain issues that weren't necessarily addressed in the original interlocal agreement 2003. It's a very weak agreement. It doesn't have a whole lot of specifics. The idea was to build the specifics of this, so this agreement will modify the one that was signed 20 years ago.
Does it track closely enough to see a red line, or is it a totally fresh?
It's a totally different agreement.
Okay.
Yeah. You won't see any of the history and all the whereas clauses, for example, the first couple of pages in our local agreement I provided you, setting forth the background, the backup, and so forth. Those aren't even in the original agreement. So there's a lot more information in this one, and we're trying to nail down responsibilities and obligations for both sides so that each and every time there's a question that comes up, we can just say, okay, it's paragraph 4, this is what we need to address, kind of thing.
Anything else? Questions or comments for the city attorney? No? right, thank you, Tom. Next up is the city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. 22nd Street Bridge project, we have a deadline for the evaluation for July 24th, but they're still trying to get that done by May is the goal. The 8th Street Rehabilitation Project, we awarded that project at the last council meeting, and they are scheduled to start on Monday, the 9th. And that leaves a final completion date of May 23rd. They'll have to clean it and then proceed with the lining, but I don't expect it to take nearly as long as the contract allows for. The code review services, we got a little bit into Chapter 94 on the last work session, which was on the 23rd. We also have the next one, Attorney Eschenfelder is going to come in. He's going to go over a draft procurement code. So we'll start off with that, and then we'll get back into our code review to finish Chapter 94, and then followed by Chapter 86, the sign code. The Gulf Boulevard undergrounding, we're still on hold waiting for the 4-inch materials. I checked in last week, they didn't have a date, but it's on Duke Energy to get that delivered as soon as we have the 4-inch conduit. The UCF can finish installing that, and then maybe Duke with their cables to finish. The 1001 Cedar Drive survey, we got updated numbers for that. So I think we probably got at least over 50 more came in since last month. And then we are going to have a presentation for the annual comprehensive financial report in April. At the end of this month, we need to call our audit committee for their recommendations. And we have a date on the calendar for that, but we need a council member to participate and serve as the chair for that audit committee. Last year, we had a member, Shaw Elliott, participate. I don't know if anyone has any nominations this year. We just prefer that whoever does it can be present.
Which date?
Kathy, what's the final date?
March 24th, it's 5 o'clock.
So
Tuesday.
who's interested in doing this?
The day after the work session.
Everyone volunteer at once.
I would recommend the professional who did it last time, since she's experienced.
Tom said he would do it.
Everybody good with Councilmember Harper?
Absolutely.
If you like it that much, Kim, you can do it again next year.
I would be happy to. Unfortunately, I'm out of town that particular day.
So we're not voting, we're just saying he's doing it, right? Okay. Congratulations, and thank you for your service.
Okay, and then we're coming down to it, down to 6 properties, substantially damaged. I have one that was purchased from an investor that's going to get to a code hearing next, and then I'll be on sort of the last handful of residents who are going to get wrapped up. I just spoke to one today that I didn't talk to for a very long time, so I was glad to get in contact. And that's everything.
All right, thank you very much. Questions or comments for the city manager? Yes, sir.
So kind of under the 6 properties that were identified as substantially damaged, so that means by definition, they've identified, but they have not told us what they're going to do.
Right. I have some kind of in between that presented an appraisal, which gave them more value, which in turn made them not substantially damaged, but they haven't gone the rest of the way and given me a permit for repairs.
There's 6 left, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's really just going to be running down these last ones. Some of them are dealing with insurance. Some are just trying to hold on to figure out what they're going to do with their blast.
Thank
last meeting, he said he'd take it to this meeting with the numbers.
So this is final.
I think this is it. In your humble opinion, do you feel that everyone that had the opportunity to do the survey has done the survey?
As far as I can tell, there was one resident that mentioned in the immediate area here, they felt that a lot of people are now living somewhere else, and kind of pulled a property appraiser search for like 600 feet of the surrounding area, and out of about 80-something properties, maybe 30 were out of, outside town addresses, so it may be true there may be some that we didn't get reached, but again, I looked at the overall numbers. I didn't know if it was going to influence the final counts too much, but it's something we could do.
Okay, and so I was listening to Chief Grimes, and it sounds like he's got a plan B. Is that what you got out of it?
He's been working on Plan Bs since we started the discussion, just because we didn't know where we were going.
And it seems like Plan B would be way more efficient than Plan A. But, Council, how does everyone feel about?
Can you explain Plan B?
Plan B was they acquired a house right across the street from where the new fire hall is going to be built. And instead of building the grand fire hall, they're going to build a smaller one and then live in the house. But I don't know if that house is readily available or if there's a long lead time on that. But what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to find out what his intentions are. And if you feel that this is something that needs to come here, then let's put it on the agenda, vote on it next month, and put it to bed. All right?
While we're on that, a lot of the residents that were concerned about this just came to my knowledge this last couple of weeks, this year. If you put a fire truck here, I thought it was only going to service this area. That's not correct, what I'm being told. That it's going to go over the bridge if the pole. And that's where the heartaches come.
It's anytime a fire alarm goes off, it's the first one, the closest one.
Which would probably change my opinion on this whole thing. I'm just speaking out loud.
And that's fine.
Can I just propose maybe we have him come to the work session and we can just ask a number of questions before we put on the ballot? So,
I can't believe he ran out of here and didn't really.
yeah, well, I mean, I was listening to that and I made a note. I'm like, there's a house next door, doesn't even need this house anymore. I made some notes, but then I didn't.
That's what I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor, for explaining.
Yeah. Okay, why don't you invite him to come to our next work session? Let's give him 20 minutes. It can't be that hard to explain.
I mean, I hate to add something to the work session because I know we're trying to get through this code.
It's quite all right.
But I'd like to know before we bring it to council, that we all know what we're really focusing on.
I agree.
You need to
I agree.
understand, you need to understand time frame, because part of the concern for me was dealing with an unmet need for emergency health services. And so if it's going to take as long to rehab our building as their building, that's relevant. So we need to know the timelines for each.
Right. And originally, it was a whole fire hall, which was going to take 2 to 3 years. And this was a quick fix, maybe 4 to 6 months, if even that. And we just didn't get enough details. So please invite him back. And if for some reason he's not able to come to our work session, then during his report he can explain it to us. And we'll have it on the agenda anyway. And if it seems, we'll know whenever he explains what his goal is and what his actual need is, one way or the other. Let's get to the bottom of it and put this to bed. So, everybody good with that? All right, good. All right, was there anything else for the city manager?
That's all I have.
All right. Next up, city clerk report.
I have nothing out of the ordinary for this month.
So
So
you're
moving
you're about to get some extra responsibility.
I am.
Right,
It sounds
let's-
that way.
Tell everybody what's going on.
Mayor Gaddis is going to become the president of the Big C, and so I will be coordinating with him for our speakers and presenters starting in April, not March.
I still sent out the emails
I know.
anyway, because we didn't have anyone lined up.
Okay.
The meetings we'll only have one meeting here, but basically Kathy will be taking minutes and helping to coordinate every meeting that we have for still not here anymore. All right, anything else?
That's all.
All right, any questions or comments for the city clerk? No? All right, thank you, Kathy. All right, now we are up to citizen comments. Is there anyone here that would like to speak? Yes, please come right on up. Patty?
Okay, I'm Patty Roberts, 102 20th Street, Parks and Rec Chair. And I want to take the opportunity to invite all of you and all of your family and friends and neighbors and everybody to the Health and Wellness Fair this Saturday from 10:30 to 1:30, right here in this lovely room. We'll have somewhere between 27 and 30 vendors, ranging from massage therapists to the Pilates body bar, a nutritionist, game day, men's health. So a big variety, a lot of new vendors from previous years, so we're very excited about it, but we need the community to participate if we want to continue doing it. So we're inviting everybody, family, friends. Do not have to live in Bel Air Beach. You can bring your IRB friends, your Bluffs friends, everybody to come, and we'll have a good time. And you'll meet a lot of new and exciting vendors. And I want to take the opportunity to thank Kathy for all her help and all her emails that she's been shooting out about it. So please come. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Patty. Any other citizens like to speak?
I just want to mention, we're also going to have two CPR classes at Palace Santos. It's going to put on in the conference room. So they can take up to 10 in each. I think they'll have like 4 doggies.
All right. Vice Mayor Roberts, did you take Patty to the Styx concert?
I did actually. I don't remember half of it.
All right. Citizen comments are now closed. Kyle, do you have anything to follow up? If anything that Patty said sparked some more, let me know.
Okay, that was all I had.
Okay, all right, great. All right, now we are on to the consent agenda. This is for approval of the February 2nd, 2026 City Council meeting minutes and approval of the February 23rd, 2026 City Council work session minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve as written and presented.
Motion is made by Councilmember Baker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Made by Vice Mayor Roberts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the consent agenda passes. Now we are on to the regular agenda. This is for consideration of ordinance 2026-01. Tom, take it away.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I'm going to go ahead and read this ordinance by title only. This is ordinance 2026-01, an ordinance of the City of Bel Air Beach, Florida, amending section 94-209 Heights of Division 3 Residential Low RL District 2 of Article 4 Districts of Chapter 94 Zoning of the Land Development Code of the City of Bel Air Beach, Code of Ordinances, by decreasing the garage floor elevation in the Residential Low RL District 2 from 24 to 18 inches above the crown of the road, and for parcels located along Gulf Boulevard, maintain garage floor elevation not to exceed 24 inches above the crown of Gulf Boulevard, providing for codification, severability, and for an effective date. That was the first reading of ordinance 2026-01 by title only, and it does require a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Trask. Kyle, can you tell us why this ordinance was created?
Yes, this is from, we were discussing the elevations of the garage floor in the residential low during the work session on the 23rd. And we had 24 inches being the minimum for the residential low single-family homes. And we were also discussing the multifamily properties to the 18 inches. So the question came up, why does the single-family homes need to be at a minimum of 24 inches? So I took the question to Leonard Cerna the following day, asking, if we were to change this, so that the minimum is 18 inches, is that going to negatively affect any other areas of the code for unforeseen issues? And he said, no, it should not, and that we'd still be able to keep the 24 inches, which would be an option if you lived on Gulf Boulevard, because you have a higher road there, so that you can get more slope to go towards the drainage terminal.
All right, before we take it to council, I need to go to the citizens. Would anyone like to comment on this considered ordinance? All right, citizen comments are now closed. Council, I'm going to need a motion to approve ordinance 2026-01.
Motion.
Motion is made by Councilmember Shirley. Do I have a second? Second. Second is made by Councilmember Banker. Jody, you have the floor.
Yeah, we discussed this pretty thoroughly in the work session, but I think it's a good compromise, the 18 to 24 inches for interior lots, and then 24 being the lowest on Gulf Boulevard. Seems reasonable, and just moving forward with it.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? No?
I'm sorry to ask, but residential low District 2 is what?
Single-family homes, so everything on the east side of Gulf Boulevard inward, so everything but the multifamily. So the multifamily is District 1 residential medium, and that's the west side of Gulf Boulevard.
Any other comments? All right, let's take it to a vote. Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Banker?
Yes.
Councilmember Elliott?
Yes.
Councilmember Harper?
Yes.
Councilmember Shirley?
Aye.
Councilmember Willings?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Roberts?
Aye.
Mayor Gaddis?
Aye. So the ordinance passes unanimously. We will revisit this next month. While this one's over, Councilmember Willings, if you would just scream if you have something you'd like to say, because I see no indication that you're even online with us.
Oh, really? You're not hearing me? Or hearing me? We can barely hear him. Can you hear me? Is he hearing me at all? Barely.
Barely.
It's coming through the projector for whatever reason. I don't know why.
That's strange.
That's a new one.
I'm on video. No. You guys can't hear me?
Barely.
Okay, and see,
Can you promote us to
Can you hear me okay? No.
can see you fine, we just can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay, there's no one here, so what we're going to do is be very quiet whenever Councilmember Welling starts waving his hand violently. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
All right, now we are on to item number 12. This is for consideration of refund request following the lien reduction hearing at 1903 Bay Shore Drive, case number 25-42. Mr. Riefler, would you like to take that one?
Yes, sir. Following the work session where we discussed this, I reached out to Attorney Trask, and we discussed, my recommendation for this refund. And given everything that we discussed in the work session and leading up to this, I still believe we should refund the total amount for this situation.
And what was the total amount one more time?
It's the remaining 25%, which is $8,706.25.
All right. Tom, do you have any comments on this?
Yes, I do. My comments are that the special magistrate made a finding that this property owner did not have due process because of the fact that she was not receiving notices as required by law. And it was apparent to me in reviewing her order that if she had the ability to reduce it down to 0, she would have. But she doesn't have that authority because of the fact that her code only allows her to reduce it down to 75%. So based upon her finding at the quasi-judicial hearing that due process wasn't given to the property owner, it is my recommendation that you refund the $87,0625 that was paid to the city already.
All right, thank you, Tom. Before we bring this to the council, I'd like to take this to the citizen comments. Would anyone like to speak on this topic? All right, we have no takers. Citizen comments are now closed. Council, I'm going to make a motion for refund of the lien reduction hearing at 1903 Bayshore Drive.
So moved.
There's two of them. I'm going to give that one to, all right, Elliot, and I'll give the second to Councilmember Baker. Kim, you have the floor.
Yes, I think we've discussed this at length. The notice was not properly given. As a matter of law, she should not have to pay it, and so we should refund the money.
Any other comments? Yes.
Just a question to our attorney, because they had their attorney come down from New York. Could we be liable to pay her fees?
No, not at this point. If she was to have filed an appeal on one of the decisions, then she could argue that under Chapter 162, if she prevails, that she's entitled to it. But I'm not seeing any court awarding her travel costs.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Work session. I just don't, we give her back the money and then she hits us with travel fees. That's what I'm asking.
No, she's not going to be able to recover her travel costs. Okay.
Any other comments? All right, we're just going to do a voice vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. All good things come to those who wait. Now we are on to item number 13, consideration of approval of the Bel Air Beach Community Foundation Highlight Your Business on Gulf Boulevard fundraising proposal. Mr. Reefler, you're up.
Okay, so this is a fundraising proposal brought to us by the Bel Air Beach Community Foundation. They formed in 2022, and since then they've been partnering with the city for fundraising activities and events. Just to name a few, we did the Earth Day Sunset Social. We also did the Veterans Memorial Dedication. And some other, we have ongoing projects or programs for like the commemorative brick program and the City Hall engraved program up front. And this fundraiser is similar to what was done for the Christmas banners, but the idea for this fundraiser is to raise more money, and what we're aiming to generate funds for is a sandbag machine and closing station. This is something that would increase our ability to produce sandbags up to, I think they advertise 750 bags per hour. That's definitely about 5 times what we can do now when we have 5 staff using our skid loader attachment. So it would drastically increase our ability to make sandbags efficiently. And the goal with this program, looking at the banner count, we hope that it can raise roughly $15,000, and then the plan would be to sell our skid attachment, because we have a replacement bagger to help make up the difference. So we're proposing this program. It is for commercial sponsorship, so it will be offered to the local businesses and residents first, but it will advertise business. There's an initial limitation to a maximum of 3. So there are some safeguards that they're putting in place so that if they don't all sell, they will systematically return to give an opportunity for more, but not, they want to avoid one business, obviously, spreading it all the way down Gulf Boulevard with their banners. So I included in this the program proposal, overview of the fundraiser. The city's responsibility will just be to mount the flags on the utility poles. They also included some of the specs for the sandbagging machine and an enclosing tool, as well as some dimensions that we will.
All right, before we bring it to the council, let's go to citizen comments. Patty, would you like to say anything?
Go for it.
All right, citizen comments are now closed. Council, I'm going to need a motion for approval of this fundraising project. Motion is made by Frank Baker. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Vice Mayor Roberts. Mr. Baker, you have the floor.
My only question, I think this is a good idea, is how long will these banners stay up?
So we're proposing, I have the exact dates on the bill review. It's June 8th to September 8th. And that should be like take us right after Labor Day. I don't give them some 3 months. There's no guarantee if we get an early storm, and all the things have to come down, it's just gravel. We figured the earliest that's going to be is August, so we might lose a partial month or so.
Some of the things that I noticed on it is that unlike before, which was a tax nightmare, no one will get these banners. It's not like the Christmas where they were, because you had to assign a value, what you were writing off. And so this way it's 100% instead of having to figure out what's the banner worth. Because they were very nice banners.
Okay.
But we won't be getting those back. Questions? Yes.
City Manager, the question I really had is I don't know our capacity or our needs for our capacity, but is this something that would be worth splitting the expense with, like in Rocks Beach or Delaware or another city that would use part of that capacity? I mean, you're talking 1,000 bags an hour. Do we need 1,000 bags an hour?
One thing we considered, because we were looking, we made proposals to Dunning to have one of the larger ones, and we tried to see if they would just sort of rent it out to us for a day to fill bags and take it with us. And that's something that we think we might do with it, especially for coastal cities that need to last. So they'll, build into it the ground costs for replacement parts or whatever, wear and tear, but get some money in return for having it.
My only other question was the time period. You see, you're going to do 40 banners from June to September at $500 per banner, and that is a once and done program, or you are replacing those banners after September?
That'll be a once and done, and this is just a one-time program, so we decide not to do it after this.
Is there any thought from the Bel Air Beach Foundation perspective of making this a perpetual program so that it renews like twice a year and it's just an ongoing moneymaker for the foundation?
I think after running it, and if it's successful, then yes. I think the more we repeat, the more we get better at.
So we could definitely use all of these experts. Thank you.
Kyle, is there any opportunity for residents to have first dibs?
Yes, so it'll be prioritized to residents, and at the same time, if you don't have a business but a resident wants to buy it, you can open for that as well.
Will it be like the Christmas banners where you have designated designs and you have to pick one?
Yes, there's they're 2x4, and you can go pick 5 color options. You can customize what's on there as far as the words in your business, and then you can also choose between a summer theme background or if you have a high resolution vector logo.
Council? Yes.
It seems as though we have two issues here. One is the sandbagging equipment itself, which to me sounds like a good idea. The second issue is whether we want to do this kind of fundraiser. And I just raised the question that past, there's been a lot of community resistance to any kind of commercial type of activity and advertising. And certainly city-sponsored one. We've had proposals for various fairs here that would involve commercial support. And I'd raise that as a question for this. Do we want to get into that kind of commercial activity?
Can I jump in here?
Yes.
So this is not the city's program. The city is not involved in this program at all. The only thing that the city is going to be doing, and you're approving tonight, is to allow them to use your utility pole and for the city to actually put the banners on the pole. We need to separate ourselves from this 501c3 fundraiser. We don't want it to be any part of what the city is doing. That's why that when you look at the recommendation, it is geared specifically towards the use of utility poles, so that that organization will be in control of everything. They're suggesting that it's going to be done this way, but you're not going to be controlling what they do, when they do it, or how much money you're going to get in return. And there is obviously a possibility that they get the money, they don't ever give it to the city. So your portion of this tonight is, you want them to use your utility poles for June 8th, September 8th. It's really the key question in my mind as to the winner. And that's why I was very specific with Kyle and how this is drafted and how it's presented. So it's not a city fundraiser. It is a fundraiser of the Pelham Beach Community Foundation.
That's an important distinction, so thank you for saying that. One observation I have too is that it says that the applications have to be received at a certain date. My suggestion might be that if you don't fill all of the needs at one time, all the available slots at one time, why not keep it open? But the deadline for the time at which the flags end is still good. But, you know, if it's July, you still have 2 left and somebody wants to buy it, let them buy it.
How we sold out with the Christmas banners? We sold that out, right?
Yep, sold out.
So my only recommendation would be that we offer first dibs to the citizens. And then anything left over could be offered up as a business lunch.
That's in there, right? The citizens get the first one.
I think the only hard part of it last time was that everyone wanted to pick which pole their banner was placed on, but it wasn't possible. So I think this year, if we approve this, they're not going to allow that. Is that correct?
I can't do a pick a pole option and charge them for it.
Okay.
Do we actually own the poles or does Duke Energy own the poles? Do they come after a fees for them? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we own those poles out there.
Those belong to Duke, don't they?
I think the blue poles are Duke's.
I thought that's what, I thought they, no,
I think the newer concrete we pay for, but the wood ones, I gotta check.
did they come after us? I mean, I don't like Duke that much, I have to use them, but.
I think they'd be coming after everybody. They'd probably go after Indian Rocks Beach first, but
They're not.
they
do have
assist
this-
us with the others because they knew we needed outlets.
And they actually do some advertising for businesses.
Anyway, if we pass this and then whenever the program's over, if the citizens come back and say, we hate that, don't ever do that again, well then, whenever it comes up for a vote, the next time you know what to do.
So it's a pilot program.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Anything else? All right, well, let me just do a roll call, not a roll call, but a voice vote. All in favor? Aye. We did have a motion, didn't we?
Yes.
I made a motion.
Sorry. I'll do it one more time. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right, so we'll move forward with that. Now we are on to unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? No?
And then just one thing, when we're talking about the fire station house situation, if if he's not available to come to the work session, can we just send Kyle a list of questions that Kyle can maybe bring? Maybe that's even a way to keep it on track. A list of questions we might have, and Kyle can try to get those answers for us. So
Probably not a bad idea, then that way he doesn't even have to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
And we don't engage in unnecessary conversation.
Good with that? Okay. Any other unfinished business?
As far as questions, we send any questions you have directly to me.
All right, well, now we are on to city council comments. I'm just going to start with Frank Banker and move right down the line.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On elevated floor.
One second, hold on. Councilmember Wellings would be at the end of the line, so let's start. Councilmember Wellings, do what you can to squeak out your voice, okay?
Actually, I think I don't really have anything I need to add today. Are you okay?
Okay, thank you. All right, now you're up, Mr. Banker.
Thank you. I've been reporting on Elevate Florida, and as of the end of February, they have not lifted a single home. My first report on Elevate Florida in July of last year, they were projected to lifting 2,000 to 2,500 homes with commencement to begin August of 2025. The 2,500 number, while no lists were done, this number kept dropping throughout. And then I spoke towards the end of the year that the number dropped to 750 homes from the original 2,500. As of February, and again, no homes have been lifted, the projected number now has dropped to 650. I know this because, again, Elevate Florida has received a total of $650 million in funding from the state, Fed, and various counties, which would lift more than 2,000 homes taken in the 25% factor, which would equate to about $400,000 per lift, or about a 2,400 square foot home. At this time, Elevate Florida is seeking new applicants, but not open to the public to apply. I note this because if you were approved by Elevate Florida to move forward, or you were not approved, you received a notice application withdrawn. Hence, so where are these new applicants coming from? More to follow.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. We'll just go ahead and go ahead, Vice Mayor Roberts.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I just saw a fine gentleman walk into the meeting a little minute ago there, and my dear wife's out there. So we were driving, we took a right-hand turn, and there was a gentleman over at the Veterans Park that was working very hard out there. Looked like he'd been working for a while. So I'd like to thank Tony for spending the time out there in the warm sun and cutting down old bush limbs and putting in new plants. It looks very nice. Thank you.
Very nice, and I told him 6:55. Just saying. All right. Mr. Harper, you're up.
No comments, thank you.
All right. Councilmember Shirley.
Nothing further from me, thank you.
All right. Councilmember Elliott.
Just enjoy this beautiful change in the weather.
Okay. I think our clocks are changing this weekend.
Saturday.
All right. So we're going to get some daylight. It's going to be bright again. Looking forward to it. Everyone, I appreciate you being here, and for those of you that watched it on, thank you very much. And appreciate all of the council's hard work. And we'll see you at the work session. This meeting is adjourned.
You'll see us at the Health and Wellness Fair. Say, see you at the Health and Wellness Fair.
Yes, you will.